The Galactic Council chambers fell silent as Ambassador Vexthora presented the decoded transmission. For 3 cycles, the mysterious signal had puzzled the greatest minds across 17 systems. Now, translated into comprehensible data, its contents turned the blood of every species present ice cold. Except one. The human delegate. Commander Sarah Chen remained eerily still. "They took children," she whispered, her voice barely audible yet carrying across the vast hall with the weight of a death sentence. "They took our children from the colony ships." The Vryn ambassador shifted uncomfortably in his crystalline seat. "Commander Chen, we understand your distress, but the Krevtok Syndicate operates beyond our jurisdiction." "They are raiders, yes, but they took our children." Sarah's knuckles whitened as her hands gripped the podium. 347 souls. The youngest was 2 years old. What the Galactic Council didn't understand, what they couldn't comprehend in their civilized laws and diplomatic protocols, was that they had just made a fatal miscalculation. Humanity had spent 2 centuries integrating into galactic society, learning their customs, adopting their rules, and suppressing the very instincts that had brought them from caves to starships in a cosmic heartbeat. They had forgotten what humans truly were. Within hours, the signal went dark across human space. Every human vessel, every colony, every station ceased all non-emergency communications. The Galactic Council initially celebrated this as a return to diplomatic decorum. Perhaps the humans would file proper grievance forms and await tribunal hearings like civilized beings. Admiral Marcus Wu stood before the assembled fleet commanders in the war room buried deep within Luna Base. The holographic display showed the last known trajectory of the Krevtok raider ships. 3 vessels, medium class, headed toward the lawless regions beyond the Atticus Nebula. "Gentlemen, ladies," Marcus began, his weathered face cast in the blue glow of tactical displays. "For 200 years we've played by their rules. We've been the newcomers, the students, the species trying to earn our place at the table." He paused, letting the weight settle. That ended the moment they touched our children. The commanders around the table nodded in grim unison. Each one had received the psychological profiles of the captives. Each one had seen the fear in those young eyes captured in the final transmissions before the raiders struck. "Execute protocol, Ancestor," Marcus ordered. The phrase rippled through the room like an electric current. Protocol, Ancestor, the contingency plan buried so deep in military archives that most politicians didn't know it existed. It was humanity's acknowledgement of its own nature, a recognition that despite centuries of civilization, certain lines once crossed would awaken something primordial. The Krevtok Syndicate had been raiding ships for 600 years. They were efficient, brutal, and had never faced serious consequences. The Galactic Council considered them a nuisance. Costly, yes, but manageable within the framework of civilized response. After all, they only took prisoners for ransom. They never killed unnecessarily. They didn't understand that humanity valued something more than efficiency or diplomatic standing. They didn't understand that humans had spent millennia developing increasingly creative ways to destroy those who threatened their young. Captain Yuri Volkov commanded the Retribution, a destroyer retrofitted with experimental weapons that technically violated 3 different galactic treaties. As his ship dropped out of FTL at the edge of the Atticus Nebula, his sensor officer called out contacts. "Sir, I have the 3 Krevtok vessels. They're in formation near the asteroid belt. I'm also reading—" "Wait." The officer's tentacles trembled. "Sir, I'm reading 73 human vessels converging on this location." Yuri smiled without humor. "Tell them we're just the first wave." Aboard the lead Krevtok raider, Captain Zor received the proximity alerts with mild annoyance. Humans, probably here to negotiate. He activated the communication channel, prepared to discuss ransom terms. Instead, he heard something that chilled his 3 hearts. It was singing. 73 ships, carrying thousands of human soldiers, were broadcasting across all frequencies. Ancient battle songs in a dozen languages. Maoriva chants, Viking death poems, samurai prayers, the collected fury of a species that had spent 200,000 years perfecting the art of warfare before ever leaving their homeworld. The Galactic Council would later analyze the 17-minute engagement with academic horror. The human forces didn't simply disable the Krevtok ships. They didn't capture them for trial. They systematically dismantled them, piece by piece, while broadcasting warnings in every known language. "These are the ones who take children. Watch what becomes of them. The children were recovered, frightened but unharmed. The Krevtok Syndicate ceased to exist, not through diplomatic pressure or economic sanctions, but through the simple expedient of humanity erasing every ship, every station, and every outpost they controlled. When Commander Chen returned to the Galactic Council, 3 months after the signal had been decoded, the chamber was silent once more. But this time it was a different kind of silence, the kind that comes from fear rather than respect. "We have recovered our children," Sarah reported calmly, as if discussing weather patterns. "We have also sent a message to anyone listening. Humanity has rules. Break them at your peril." Ambassador Vexus Thora found his voice first. "Commander, your actions have violated 17 interstellar laws. The use of force without council approval, the destruction of—" "You had your chance to act," Sarah interrupted, her voice carrying the steel that had forged humanity's rise. "You chose bureaucracy over justice. We chose our children over your approval." She leaned forward, and every delegate felt the weight of a predator's gaze. "Humanity tried your civilization. We learned your ways, respected your laws. But understand this, we are not like you. We never were. We climbed from the mud and darkness by protecting our own. 200 years among the stars doesn't erase 200,000 years of evolution." She stood to leave, then paused at the chamber entrance. "The next species that harms a human child won't face a military response. They'll face extinction. We will not apologize for this. We will not negotiate. We've shown you what we're capable of when we follow your rules. Pray you never see what we become when we don't." The door sealed behind her with a soft hiss. In the silence that followed, the Galactic Council finally understood the terrible truth. They hadn't civilized humanity. They'd simply given them a reason to pretend. The signal that had awakened humanity's darkest wrath didn't come from the stars. It came from within, where it had been waiting all along.